There is a huge new console event for World of Tanks. It is the Metalfest, and we have both free premium tanks that you can actually pick up alongside a variety of different skins and stuff like that as well, and also some of the brand new premium tanks that are available as part of Metalfest Act 1, and of course some of the commanders featured around that do go on sale, which are very expensive. So with that being said, let's take a look at some of the stuff that you can pick up as part of Act 1. Metalfest itself is split up into 3 acts, which feature 3 different acts. This one is for essentially 10 days, starting on the 30th of July, which will be Tuesday next week, where this will actually go live. So with that in mind, let's take a look at whether or not you should spend your time actually grinding out this event, what you get from it, and of course, whether some of the new premiums that are coming into the game are actually potentially worth it for you. So starting off with this one, the Act 1 event. This is essentially part of a heavy metal themed event, which goes in line with the same season that we've currently gone on, which is heavy metal for World of Tanks Modern Armor. So with that being said, there is the typical earn point operation whereby you earn X amount of points based on X challenge, and the more of those that you complete, the more points you get. The more points you get, the more rewards you get, and as you go through, you can eventually end up with a free premium. But we'll kind of discuss whether or not this is achievable for the majority of players. And so first off, let's see how you get your points. So starting off, Metalfest point. Deal 1,500 or more damage in any number of battles will give you 1 point. So if you want to complete this event very quickly and have the most amount of points, playing tier 10 or playing a tank with high alpha is going to be the way to play, because of course you just deal more damage. It's not limited by the tier that you're playing, but in fact it's limited by how much damage on average that you do. You're more likely to do more damage in a tier 10 than in a tier 5, for example. So obviously play however you want to play, but if you want to optimize the event, make sure that you do get the point rewards, then yeah, playing at tier 10 or playing in Cold War is going to be the way to go. Then we've got Metalfest Opener, so this is place in the top 6 XP earners on your team in a battle. This will give you an additional point, so a maximum of 2 points per battle. But there is also a third, but this requires you to have a specific commander. Place in the top 3 XP earners on both teams in a battle whilst using one of the following commanders. So this is the top 3 of the entire game, will give you an extra point. But you'll also need one of the brand new Metalfest commanders, which of course you have to pay for. Well, we'll check out how much you have to pay if you want to, you know, make yourself get there a little bit easier, even though you do have to be top 3, and so the actual warrant of actually go ahead and buying one is probably less so for the majority of players, unless you're a very, very skilled World of Tanks Modern Armor player, where you can guarantee that you are going to come in the top 3 very consistently. Otherwise it's kind of pointless buying it just for purely getting extra points. But 2 points for the average Joe who is going to be playing the game if you can manage to place in the top 6 and deal 1,500 damage. But there is also some more bonus points which you can get, which is deal 250 damage to an enemy by causing an internal fire or from a flamethrower, which will give you an additional point. Fantastic. I've been saying about adding in, you know, setting people on fire for extra points. Very nice to have. Gives you an additional kind of, you know, these are things that could happen in a game and you're like, oh, that's even better now that I've set someone on fire, that I've got an extra point. You know, this sort of stuff, much, much better. And of course, it's random. Yes, you can aim for engine decks and that sort of stuff, which you do get rewarded for by potentially increasing the chances of setting someone on fire. But it's nice to have as an additional point operation. Then we've got Metalfest Fog Machine. Conceal yourself with smoke screens for 15 or more seconds in a battle. This is really cool. I like what they're doing. This is for Cold War, obviously, because you can't get smoke screens in World War II, but it's there. Then we've got Metalfest Mosh. Destroy an enemy vehicle by ramming and survive, which gives you an extra 1 point, which is cool. I like it. Metalfest Number of the Beast. Get exactly 666 in one or more of the following stats in a battle. Earned XP, damage dealt, damage resistance, remaining health, damage block, seconds lived, meters driven. Fantastic. It's so random, you can't guarantee it in your games, but it's there, it's cool. And, you know, if you do get it, you'll be like, oh, okay, that was kind of cool. This sort of operations, these are what I've been literally asking for so long, to just have some more interesting random operations that aren't necessarily like you can guarantee in a game, but are there as like a benefit to people who just play the game. And eventually one of these things is going to happen. And yes, you can play to try and maximize them, but it's probably not going to do you a whole lot of difference between, you know, what you would just do normally playing the game. So I like this sort of stuff. And then we've got Metalfest lineup. Deal 3,500 or more damage as a platoon in a battle if you're playing in a platoon with 2 people playing using the Primo Victoria, the Spirit of War, Soldier on M67, Senjutsu, Leclerc, P-Cells that is, and Amalad. So all of these are available as the Metalfest bundles and Metalfest vehicles that you may or may not already have or can purchase. So this is kind of like the paid version of to speed it up. But Soviet Tier 10 Thunder Chief Object 452K is a brand new vehicle that we'll have a look at in this video, alongside the Dragula T55 AGM Detente Era 3 Independent Medium Tank. Yes, that is an absolute mouthful, and we'll have a look at that one as well. So you can get additional points in every single battle, so you're probably looking at about 3 points per battle on average, maybe like 2 I would say actually, given, you know, some people might not place in the top 6, so I would assume around about on average over the whole like event you'll probably average about 2 points a game. And of course if you're better, if you can consistently come in the top 3 and you're playing in some of the extra vehicles, you can guarantee yourself more. But then we also have the Metalfest Metal. So earn 1,000 or more XP in a battle while playing one of the following tanks. This is if you have purchased or own any of the vehicles that we're talking about. I believe that the Primo Victoria was actually given out a long time ago for free as part of an event. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like some people may have this. It's been around in the game for a long time, way before Metalfest, the first one, actually came out. So some of you may already have that vehicle, and it's probably the cheapest of the lot, but you get an extra 1 point if you earn 1,000 or more XP in any of those tanks, so a nice little bonus. Plus you also get one of the following drops, so you can either get 500 Commander XP, 5,000 Silver, 100 free XP, or an Emblem Heavy Metal Hero 3, which is cool. Then we have the individual earn challenge for Motorhead. So I believe that you have the option to choose which act you want to go for in this one. So you've either got Motorhead, and if we go down, you've got Rob Zombie. So choosing which one is actually going to give you different rewards, obviously based upon the kind of act that you are choosing for this part of the event. So the first one is Motorhead. This one gives you HMH Huntsman Centurion medium tank. This is a tier 8 medium for the British line. It is a pretty interesting vehicle, but it is very similar to what you can actually just pick up in the tech tree in the Centurion 1. And there's a ton of Centurion variants at tier 8 that I think really make this tank almost kind of pointless to buy, to be honest. I don't think it is. I mean, it's an interesting tank to get for free, but it's not too dissimilar to any tank that you can just get in the game, so yeah, it's a bit boring in my eyes. It was also released as a free tank anyway, a long time ago, through various different operations. I think we've had it multiple times for free, once as part of a season pass, this sort of stuff, so yeah, it's a bit of a cop-out to give it again for free. I don't necessarily think it's bad, but as an event that is supposed to be like kind of cool and that sort of stuff, and be a new event and trying out like a big event, then giving away a tank that's already been there kind of feels like a bit naff. But yeah, it's there. If you've already got the vehicles that are in as the free vehicles, then you get 3.96 million for the Huntsman, or an alternative for the Rob Zombie. But in order to get there, you have to earn 200 points in 10 days, which if you're averaging about 2 points per game, then you need to complete about 100 games in 10 days. So about 10 games every single day, which is probably for a casual player quite difficult to do. So yeah, I mean, it depends. Maybe on the weekend you play 30 games. I don't know, making it a lot easier for you to complete. But it's still quite a long time, a lot of grinding, and depending on how well you play in your games, could mean that you're only averaging a point a game, which then doubles how many games you're going to have to play. Sometimes some of you, I'm sure, will complete in like 70 games because you're just very good and can consistently come in the top 3. You've got some of the tanks that allow you to get extra points. It just completely depends on the situation that you're in and the sort of player that you are. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of casual players will struggle to complete this operation in 10 days, but maybe not, maybe they will. It's completely down to how much you play. If you only play 10 games in a week, then you're not going to be able to do it, unfortunately. But if you play 150 games in a week, then probably are going to be able to complete it. So, moving on, then there's Rob Zombie. I forgot to mention, you do get some like inscriptions, you get some premium consumables, some XP boosters, that sort of stuff. You also get garage gear, which is pyrotechnics flames. But moving on to Rob Zombie, this one is the HMH AMX model 58, so the AMX 58 essentially. This vehicle is a cool one. It's a bit different to any of the ones that you can get in the tech tree, but if you've got both of them, it's only giving you 2.86 million silver compared to the 3.9 that you get from the Huntsman. So purely based on a silver bit, I'll be picking the Huntsman because I already have both of these, but of course, you're down to do whatever you want. Maybe you just want the inscriptions for Rob Zombie. It is the exact same amount of points to complete both of them. And this one gives you the HMH. And that is essentially it. That is what you get. You also get an emblem for Metalfest 2024, which you get 2 of those for both of them. And you also get a Black Skull emblem as well for doing that. And then, of course, we've got a community event. Die-hard fans know there is no event that brings hardcore enthusiasts together like a music festival. Our equivalent is the Metalfest community event, and here's the thing, no matter which artist you choose for your personal earn challenge, your points will count towards the total community event. And after stage 4, discounts on both of this year's new Metalfest tanks will be unlocked for the entire community. So essentially, you get discounts by playing the game, you earn the ability to get a discount to buy a tank in the game. I mean, if you want to buy the tanks in the game, then fantastic, but you don't get the tank. So either way, it's good for anyone that wants to buy the tank. Completion of stage 2 of the community event will award you a discount only on the Thunder Chief Object 452K. Completion of stages 4 and 6 of the community event will award you discounts on both the Thunder Chief Object 452K and Dragula T55AT AGM even. You'll get bigger discounts on the Thunder Chief. If you choose Rob Zombie, you'll get the opposite, so you get a bigger discount on the Dragula than you will on the Thunder Chief. So it depends on which one you pick that will affect the overall discounts you are getting on the premium vehicles. So, yeah, Rob Zombie, you get the HMH, but then you don't get the discount on the Thunder Chief, which is the World War II vehicle. So you pick the World War II vehicle that you want to get. So for me, I'll be able to get a discount on the World War II tier 10, as opposed to the bigger discount that is compared to the Dragula. So that's kind of how it works. And yeah, maybe you choose the premium tank that you receive for free as part of the individual challenge based upon the fact that you want to get a premium vehicle that's actually sold for a cheaper price at the end of the community event. Metalfest community event, this gives you Metalfest 1, so earn 1 million points with the community, it gives 100,000 silver. Metalfest 2 will give you 2.5 million, and then if you choose Motorhead, you'll get 15% discount on the Thunder Chief. If you choose Rob Zombie, you get 15% on Dragula. Metalfest 3 will give you is where the community needs 4 million total points, which will give 2 days of premium account to everyone. Metalfest 4, 6 million points. If you choose Motorhead, you'll get 30% discount on the Thunder Chief and 15% on the Dragula. And if you choose Rob Zombie, you'll get 30% on the Dragula and 15% on the Thunder Chief. And then we go down, earn 8 million points, will give you the Pyrotechnic Sparks garage gear. And then the sixth one is earn 10 million points with the community for 2 Skull Emblems, 2 War Pig with cross swords. And if you choose Motorhead, you'll get 50% discount on the Thunder Chief, Object 452K, and 30% discount on the Dragula. But if you chose Rob Zombie, you'll get 50% on the Dragula and 30% on the Thunder Chief. So that is kind of how the event will work, and will be available until the 10th of August, I believe. So that is the kind of event for Metalfest Earn Challenge, or the 20th of August, sorry. So this will be available for that entire time. And then if we could go all the way down to the bottom, this is the garage gear. So these are the 2 garage gears that you have as part of it. So the garage gear Pyrotechnics Flames will be this one, and the Sparks is this one that you can put in your garage. So yeah, I mean, kind of cool. Then we move on to the commanders. Now, if you want to purchase commanders to get extra points in the game, potentially, then there are some new commanders, and these are down here. So these are the 3 different commanders. You've got Lemmy, Phil Campbell, Mickey D, which are all available to buy. So these are for Motorhead, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I am not particularly too in line with those, but I appear that is who they are. You've also got 3D commanders for Lemmy, 3D Hero Commander, and Warpig 3D Hero Commander here as well. So this is what they look like, and they'll look like that in the game. And then as Hero Commanders, 3D Lemmy and Warpig both start with 3 open skill slots and a Commander XP earn rate of 30% extra. And yeah, so that's kind of cool. There's also the Bomber Hero skin for the FE107 Scimitar. When the skin is equipped, you'll hear Motorhead's song Bomber upon selecting the tank in your garage. Kind of cool. And this is what it looks like. If you're a big Motorhead fan, this will probably be very, very cool for you. And yeah, I mean, bollocks on the back, kind of cool. Yeah, this is cool. I like the idea of this one, and it's kind of more suited to the actual game than a lot of the other collaborations that we've seen with World of Tanks console and World of Tanks Modern Armor. So I think this is a nice one. And then you've got a load of inscriptions that you can get. If you want to purchase the biggest bundle possible, it is 29,900 gold, costing you around £80 or $100 and something probably. So very expensive. And you do get the new Soviet Tier 10 Thunder Chief Object 452K, but then it's also the Bomber Hero skin. You get all of the 3D commanders along with a load of emblems and inscriptions. So essentially 29,900 for a 3D commander, a skin, or 2 3D commanders, a skin, and a Thunder Chief Tier 10. So very expensive. I probably wouldn't buy this if I was going to spend money on the game, which I'm not. Bomber Hero skin is 2,500 gold on its own. Overkill, which is the 2 3D heroes, is 4.8k gold. So if you wanted to just purchase them individually, I'd recommend getting the Bomber, the Overkill, and then literally just buying the tank when it's on a discount. Instead of buying the mega bundle, because you get a load of like inscriptions that you probably will get some anyway, just from playing the event and that sort of stuff. So it's up to you anyway. And then we've got Thunder Chief Object 452K. So the base version is 25,000 gold. The 15% is 21,000 gold. The 30% discount is 17,700, and then the 50% is 12,600. So it's going to cost you about 40 to 50 pounds, I believe, is how much 12,000. It might be 40 pounds if you want to purchase this vehicle. So $50, $55, $60. I don't quite know exactly how much they'll charge in dollars. But yeah, that's how I know in pounds. Rob Zombie Commanders, vehicle skins, cosmetics, and store bundles. So this is what the Rob Zombie skin looks like, the 3D hero. You've also got a skin for the M5355, which I'm sure some artillery lovers out there are going to go ahead and purchase just to annoy people that there's a skin on an artillery now. And yeah, there's a load of emblems and inscriptions. I'm not going to cover them all, but they're there. So kind of cool, I guess, if you like customizing your vehicle. And then if you want to purchase it, the full mega bundle, which comes with the Dragula T55 AGM, it'll be 20,900 gold, plus all of the other inscriptions, emblems, hero commander, etc. But once again, if you just want to buy the tank and the hero commanders and the actual skin, then it's better to just wait until the discount comes out and then purchase the 3D hero commanders as a bundle together, and then the hero skin, rather than buying the mega bundle, which comes with a load of other stuff which will be charged at the full price of the gold, or whatever. Anyway, moving on, we've got the Dragula T55 AGM, which is 14,400 gold just for the singular tank, and then at a 50% discount, 7.2 thousand, 30%, 10,000, 15%, 12,500 basically, or 12.25 if we're being precise. So yeah, I mean, at 7,000 gold, it's reasonable for a an Era 3 vehicle, but it's up to you. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to go and buy it. I'm not going to say you should never buy it, and if you buy it, you're the worst human being in the world, because at the end of the day, it's your money. Spend it on whatever you want. Special Metalfest starter pack. Obviously, it's available. It's free. You can get a couple of inscriptions and some gold and, not gold, but you get premium account time and some boosters. You just find it in the store, and it will be under the DLC or special section or something like that, and it will say £0, $0, or depending on where you are, whatever currency you are using. Then we have the premium tanks. So taking a look at the actual premium tanks themselves, we've got the Dragula T55 AGM. This is what it looks like. This is what you can potentially buy from Wargaming. It has a ton of spaced armor all over the front and on the side, so it looks almost similar to what you would expect from a T92 or a T55A, surprisingly, given that it's the T55A GM. So the tank itself, don't quite know whether it's going to be good, so I'd highly recommend waiting and watching some of the Cold War World of Tanks YouTubers, or making sure that you find out before you go ahead and buy it on the possibility that it could be crap. So just be aware of it. In terms of stats wise, we've got the stats here that we can have a look at. It doesn't get any additional silver bonus, so it's a 50% silver bonus. It has a top speed limit of 70.4 kilometers an hour, which is pretty good. Hull traverse, turret traverse, okay. 5 degrees of gun depression is a little bit sucky, but it is a Soviet vehicle, so I'm not that surprised. Penetration, it's decent. Damage wise, 550, it's okay. It's in line with a lot of other mediums in the tier. 2-second aim time, 0.25 accuracy, pretty good. Reload, you got 7.6 second for a total damage per minute of 4.3 thousand base, which will probably go up to about 5,000 to 5.5 thousand DPM, which is pretty good. You got APFSDS rounds as your standard shell and APFSDS as your premium, so the same round just with extra penetration. And then HE is 155 pen and probably never worth using, to be honest, unless you're fighting against light tanks. View range 560 meters, pretty good, but then again, it's Cold War, so you can see everyone anyway. Then we've got the Thunder Chief Object 452K, which has been in PC. It was available in a an assembly shop, and it wasn't a very good tank. It was basically an IS-7, but with more weak points. So make of that what you will. It will probably be very similar on console, to be honest with you. It feels a little bit lackluster when I played on PC. And so, would I recommend it? I don't think so. But it's down to you at the end of the day. 560 damage does put it in a better damage potential. But yeah, it just doesn't quite feel good enough. And the DPM 2300 is on the low side. Penetration is good on both the AP and the heat ammunition that you get. 7 degrees of gun depression is pretty nice. But it is so very low to the ground that it can be a little bit annoying to use ridges, because as soon as you get near the ridge, it starts to curve upwards, and then because it's so low profile, you can't kind of look over the ridge. You're having to go up to the ridge, which then inclines your vehicle just a little bit, and then the 7 degrees of gun depression feels like it's not actually as usable as maybe if you were a taller vehicle, which could just not have to go up to the slope to see over the top of it. So you get what I mean with regards to gun depression, is that just because a tank has a really good value of gun depression, it's not always the exact thing that you will see in the game when you're trying to use it. It's why some tanks with 10 degrees of gun depression feel much better than when you're using other vehicles with 10 degrees of gun depression, and it's usually to do with the height and the length of the vehicle as to how much bobbles and stuff between the front and the back impact the overall rotation, because a big bump at the front of a very long vehicle will increase the actual height of your vehicle much more than if you have a smaller vehicle or whatever, or maybe it's vice versa actually. But Either way, this tank can be affected quite badly by terrain as to getting the gun depression because it's very low profile. But there you go, 390 view range, pretty bog standard for a heavy. So looks like a cool vehicle, but don't think it's going to be overpowered or anything like that until we see it in the game. I would expect it's probably on the weaker side of the tier 10 heavies, which is good. It should be worse than some of the tanks in the game, but adding in yet again a new Soviet heavy vehicle. We've already got loads of them. It's kind of a bit annoying, but at the end of the day, it's a new tank in the game, which I'm not going to complain too much about it. If you want to purchase it at a 50% discount, it's 12,600 gold, so about £40. Make of that what you will. Dragula, obviously much cheaper. There you go. That is what the vehicles are. And if you're interested in the reviews, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, or just stay tuned next week where we'll be doing reviews of both of these tanks. So stay tuned, and hopefully this video was an informative one. If you liked it, make sure to like it, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.